I grew up in Carmel, New York, which is an announced town in the Legends of Wrestling game thanks to one of our hometown celebrities, Captain Lou Albano. Now everyone in town knew Lou, and he was in all the local commercials as well as a main eventer at all the local bars. But I never met the guy, and it became a running joke in my social circles that I'd never been in the presence of this windbreaker-clad legend. But leaving high school one day and walking uptown, I by chance noticed that Lou was stuck in traffic on the road next to us. I pointed and turned to my friend and excitedly exclaimed, "It's Captain Lou!" My friend glanced over, and the look on his face changed to one of sheer joy. And that kind of confused me. As I looked back at the car, I see Captain Lou flipping me off. Just then the light changed at the intersection, and he casually drove away. A few years later, I was at that same light in my car when I spotted Lou for only the second time in my life. He was getting out of his car in front of a local bar or restaurant, and as the light turned green for me, I yelled, "Hey, Captain Lou!" He looked up and waved as he was accustomed to doing, and I flipped him off while driving through the intersection. He seemed perplexed as he obviously had no clue who I was. We were now even, and I made my peace with our imaginary rivalry. Rest in peace, Captain Lou.
Rest in peace is right. What a great story. What a comeback story for this caller. And a great storyteller, by the way. Thank you for that call. I loved it. We haven't had a Captain Lou story. Captain Lou does have this like aura and lure of just being like the hometown guy. Everybody knows who he is. I remember listening to a Paul Heyman interview years ago and him explaining almost the beautiful New York carniness of Captain Lou Albano, where we know the carniness of your local person, maybe at a local wrestling show, and them trying to make moves and say that they're a big deal. But now imagine it in New York City, the biggest city in the world. Apparently, or allegedly, that was Captain Lou. So much that he attached himself to the hip of Cyndi Lauper and WrestleMania, and she helped out with Rock and Wrestling, WrestleMania, so on and so forth. So I don't know if Captain Lou gets enough credit in this world, but he essentially helped kickstart WrestleMania, which basically helped kickstart the 80s wrestling boom. I mean, Hulk Hogan, Mr. T, Roddy Piper, Vince McMahon, they all probably had a little bit to do with it, but Captain Lou was right there. And the second time you saw him is what I appreciated. Well, the first one, obviously I appreciated that Captain Lou just flipped you off. That's so fun. So fun. But the second time, if I was a diehard wrestling fan, Captain Lou lived in my city, I knew who he was. Even if I saw him a second time, I would just want to be like, Captain, I love you. You're the greatest. But you stuck to the joke. You stuck to your bit. You knew the next time you were going to see him, you had to flick him off. And sometimes in the moment, all your true intuitions just fly out the window and you don't do what you thought you were going to do, but you did. You flicked him off and you made it even. Even Steven. Fuck you, Captain Lou. You're a legend, my friend. Rest in peace. Hey, thanks for watching. That call was part of a whole podcast called Wrestling Anonymous. Listen to the whole thing weekly. Wherever you listen to your podcasts, go subscribe. While you're at it, subscribe right here on YouTube to Colt Cabana's channel. Thank you.